Hi, this is Karen with Karen's Cards and More, and today we're going to do a fun fold. We're going to use the new Flowering Tulips bundle, and we're going to make this super cute double fun fold. And when I decided to make this particular card style, I thought this new Flowering Tulips from the new mini catalog, I thought this bundle was great for this card. So let me show you the actual card. The reason it's called a double fun fold is you have the flap here that folds up, and then you have this inside card that folds open. So there's your double fun fold. And it's really fun, really easy to make. I wanted to try out these stamps, doing this stamp, and I loved the thank you. So let's get right into what we need to make this card. So I'm starting with, let's start with the petal pink piece. The petal pink piece is 5 1/4 by 8, scored at 4, and that's a little bit smaller than the normal A2 card, and the reason for that is that's the inner card, and we have the base that it goes on. So this piece is 5 1/4 by 8, scored at 4. And then I have a piece of Poppy Parade that is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Then you'll need another piece of Poppy Parade that is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. You'll need a piece of Designer Series paper that is a 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 inch square. Then you'll need a piece of the Designer Series paper that is 2 1/2 by 4. And you'll need a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5. And then you'll need some other of the basic white just for your stamping. Okay? So let me show you the bundle, the Flowering Tulips bundle. Here's the stamp set. So you can make all these different tulips, and they're two-step stamps where you can stamp them with one color and then another color on top of it for that dramatic effect. And then the dies are here. And so we're going to be using these dies. We're going to cut out our tulips with the outline. We're going to use this stem and these leaves. And then we're also going to use this, which is like a border of tulips, okay? So that's the set that we're going to use. The other set that we're going to be using is the layering circles. We're on the scalloped, we're going to use the second smallest. This is the smallest, then it goes to here, but if you stay with the small one, then the one right above it, that's the one we're going to use to die cut our sentiment today, okay? So let's just get right into it. Let's start with doing our stamping. And I'm just going to bring in a scrap. And we're going to start with, let's start with our flowers. And for that, there's 2 stamps. We're going to do one in the petal pink, one, and then the detail that goes over that with the Poppy Parade, and then the little stamens in the black memento. So I'm going to show you how I did this, and then I've already got some that are die cut that we're going to use today in the video, but I wanted to show you how I go about this. So let's start with the petal pink. I'm going to go ahead and open the Poppy Parade so I can have it ready to go. Okay, so we're going to start with the petal pink. I'm just inking this up. And then I'm just going to stamp it down. I do have a soft matte underneath, which is best with these polymer stamps. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with the Poppy Parade. I'm just going to ink it up. And then I just want to line it up. You can see through it, and you just want to line it up over top of the petal pink. And put that down, just like that. And then the die cut will cut around that. And then I'm going to come in with the black memento. And I'm just going to put the stamens in there. And that's all there is to that. And then I'm just going to flip this around to put the greeting on here because like I said, I've got these already die cuts to save time in the video. So I'm just going to ink this up. This is the greeting. And then I'm just going to stamp this down. And then we're going to die cut around that. So that's got all of our stamping done. So I did 2 of the flowers and then the greeting. Okay. Close up all my ink pads. I'm going to move our scrap. We're done with that. So let's just go ahead to getting the card made. Now, I told you that I die cut this piece. Here's what it looks like. I did this on about 1 3/4 because I wanted this, and you can see it's still attached because I wanted this for a reason. I wanted it, I'm just getting some of these little pieces out. I wanted the bottom to have a thin layer on it because I wanted to use that against the card. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in with my paper snips, and I'm just going to snip this here at the end. That gets rid of this piece. So then I'm going to bring in our petal pink card base, and we're just going to glue this down here at the bottom. And then we'll trim off the excess. Now you could do it either way. If you wanted to trim part of that, if you had a specific flower you wanted to start. And what I did, I found it easier to go ahead and fold this first because then I could see better exactly where I wanted to go to. Okay, so I know that I want this to come all the way to the edge. And I know that this flower here is going to be the last one glued down. I'm going to want to trim that a little bit just so that I don't have just that little part of that flower. So I'm just trimming in between those 2 flowers because I know this is going to be my last flower, and then I can just clean that up a little bit. It's got a little bit of a bird edge. And I'm just going to clean that, just snip there. And I know I'm going to be cutting somewhere in here. So I'm going to come in with I'm using the fine tip glue for this piece. I usually, if I'm going to use liquid glue, I use the Tombow, but just because there's all this little thin stuff, I thought that this would be a better choice for glue. So I know that I need to glue all this part down. So I'm just going to run some of this liquid glue along this bottom. And I am not going to attempt to put glue on all of this. I'm just putting little dots of glue around just to hold it. And that'll be enough to hold it down without having to put glue on every little spot. So I'm just going to keep adding the glue till I get over to this part where I trimmed, because I know that that's where the end of my card is. I'm just going to do a little bit on the stems. And you don't even have to hit every stem. Okay. And then I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to run this. I want to keep it along the bottom edge. And I'm just going to press it down. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess, but then I want to show you a little tip. Sometimes when you're gluing these little pieces down, some of the glue will squish out around it. So I'm going to show you a little tip for that. So then I'm going to turn it over to the back. I've already cut that away so that it won't be sticking. And I'm just going to trim that off. Now, if you feel like there's any sticky on here that some of the glue has seeped through, just take your embossing buddy and just go over it. And that will cause the sticky not to be sticky anymore. So if you have any glue that you feel is sticky, just run that across there and that will get rid of the glue, okay? So I'm going to set that aside for a minute and we're going to go to our 3.5-inch square piece. For this, I'm going to need my trimmer. The first thing that we want to do with this piece is we're going to cut it on the diagonal, and it doesn't matter which way you cut it. I'm going to put diagonal corners in the track. And I'm just cutting from corner to corner. Then with each of these pieces, I want to bring the long end. If you can see the 1/2-inch line, there's a line that goes all the way up, so it makes it really easy to line up. I want to line this up the long side on that 1/2 inch, and I want to just score. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other piece. I'm going to line it up on the 1/2 inch line. Okay, and we are done with the trimmer. So now you want to take these and you want to think about which side you want to show on the outside. I wanted the polka dot side on the outside. The other one will show on the inside. So whatever one you want to show on the outside, you want to fold this behind. So I want this on the outside, so I need to fold it behind. So I'm going to do that with both pieces. I want to go across that crease. Then these little flaps that are sticking past the triangle, just go ahead and trim those off. Just trim them like that. You're going to do that on both pieces. I'm just trimming those extra little points off. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with this, and we want to attach our points. These are going to attach on the top and the bottom. And you want to get your point in the middle. And you want your points to line up. So I'm just holding this together so I can show you. See how the points are lining up, and that's what you want. You want your points to be in the middle, and you want them to line up. So we're going to start by putting adhesive on this flap back here. And we're going to attach this to the back of the card piece, okay? So again, I want to try to get my point in the middle. And I'm trying to get the top part in the middle as well. Looks pretty good. And you're going to attach this to the back of your card piece, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same with this other flap. I just want to put some adhesive on the little flap. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up my points. Press this down. Okay. Now, we're going to take our other piece of Designer Series paper and we're going to mount it to the Poppy Parade mat. So I'm just using some Stampin' Seal. And I'm just going to attach this to this mat. Just like that. Now we're going to attach this to the flap. Now, when you do this, you only want to put adhesive on the top flap. You do not want to adhere the bottom flap down. You only want to adhere the top flap down. So I'm trying to look to how I can center that. That looks pretty good. So I just want to put adhesive on this top flap. So I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. Well, maybe I will. Okay. So I'm going to hold this piece over this. Again, trying to center it on my points. And then when I have the placement that I like, I'm just going to press that down. Now, we're just going to put Stampin' Seal on the back of the pink piece. I'm just going to put it around all four sides. And then I'm going to run a little bit more in the center just because there's a lot of bulk to this. I wanted to make sure it's going to hold. So then I'm going to attach this to my Poppy Parade piece. Just like that. Okay, now the basis for our card is done. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And I'm going to attach our basic white piece. Now, I didn't do a lot of stamping on this piece. I wanted to, because it's a thank you card, I wanted to leave plenty of room to write. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do on the inside. So we're just going to attach this, that. And then just to dress it up, because I didn't know what else I wanted to do, in the Flowering Fields suite that you can get that has the Flowering Tulips bundle as well as the windmill, the Tulip Fields, the Flowering Tulips and the Tulip Fields bundles, in the suite, if you get the suite, you get these little butterflies. So because I didn't know what else I wanted to do, I just put like one of the large ones in the corner, bottom corner. And then I put two of the smaller ones just randomly like they were flying up above it. And that's all I did on the inside for now. I figured when I got ready to send it, I would be able to personalize it more. So that's all I did for now. So now we're going to decorate the front panel, this panel here. And I started with putting down my stems. So I'm going to bring in all my stem pieces, my leaves. And I might change the placement a little bit on this. I don't know. We'll see. So I started with my stems. And for this, I am using the Tombow liquid glue. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back here, just a little. Doesn't take a whole lot. Just a little bit of glue. And I'm thinking about the tops of my flowers, where I want those to go. Okay. And I'm going to put the other one on. Just a little bit of the Tombow glue. And then the next part that I went ahead and put on the flowers on the top of the stem, because I knew the leaves were going to be a little more, you know, trying to decide how to angle them, but I wanted to get my flowers set. So there's my first flower. I'm just going to hold that down for a minute. I'm just putting the glue on the back. There's my second flower. Now you could put those closer together if you wanted. It's all in the look that you're going for. Now with the leaves, I found that it was easier to put the smaller leaves on first. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I wanted them to be like tucked underneath the bigger leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And then you can angle them however you want. Go ahead and add the little leaf on the other side. Okay, and then I'm ready to put the top leaf on. And I almost want to switch these. I think I am going to pull this off, and I'm going to switch this and put this little leaf to the other side because I want the long leaf to go off of this side. So this leaf is going to go here. I like that better. Putting that down there. And then I'm going to come back and put this other leaf over here. Just adding the glue to the back. And you may think, well, that looks like a mess down there. That's okay, because we still got our greeting to put on there. So I'm going to use dimensionals for my greeting. And you can see on the back, I had stamped it once on the back and didn't like it, so I redid it. So I'm going to bring in my dimensionals with my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to add my dimensionals on the back. And pull the backs off. And we're ready just to attach this. I'm going to use it to cover the leaves where the stems come together. I think that looks good right there. Now you could add little gems to the front. You could add a bow to the front. I thought it had enough going on the way it is. And I really wanted to showcase the tulips, and I felt like this did this. So here's the double flap. You open this up, and then you open this up. You could definitely do some decoration on here if you wanted. I like the simplicity of it. So I left mine like that. You could definitely use some other designer series paper and put this at the bottom. The options are endless of what you could do, but I liked just the simplicity of the pink. I thought there was enough going on without doing anything more to the pink. So here's the one that we just did. Here's the one that I made earlier. And it's just such a really fun neat card idea. So I hope you'll give it a try. I hope you'll play with this. If you want any of the products you've seen here, these are all Stampin' Up! Products. You can go to my store, karensmith.stampinup.net, to place an order for any of these products. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. Be sure to check me out on Facebook, Karen's Cards and More. I have a page and a group, and I will be crafting again with you soon.